everyone and welcome back to my true crime channel. I hope you're all well. Today I want to discuss the Summer Wells case again, and the subject of my video today is where has Don gone? So very weirdly, Don Wells has gone extremely quiet in the last week. We've not heard much from him. Now, I suspect it's because of all the allegations that have been made against the man. He's gone into hiding. He's become very, very quiet. Whereas normally, every day or every other day, he was giving video interviews or interviews, normally via a sort of Zoom chat or something like that, to one particular YouTube true crime channel that I'm sure you're all aware of. But Don's gone quiet. The last we apparently heard from him was telling his friends on said YouTube channel that I'm sure you're all aware of that Grandma hadn't been in contact with Crime Stories Obsessed. Now, I'm not going to go into that again. I do believe it was the grandma that spoke to Emma, the host of that channel. Obviously, I've no proof. I wasn't there. I know a lot of people aren't sure whether it did or it didn't happen, but I really don't see why the channel creator of that channel would make it up. So I'm not going to go back into the ins and outs of that again, but lots of things that the grandma said were quite interesting. She clearly doesn't like Don, but I do think it was potentially her, and I've been finding it really interesting since then that no one else in the family has spoken out since the grandma did. Why is that? Where's Don gone? And more importantly, in a way, why is Candace not speaking out? Like I said, it's quite obvious why Don has gone into hiding. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear from him again, to be honest. I think he was loving the limelight, but he kept dropping himself in it. He kept slipping up. He kept contradicting everything he said about his daughter's disappearance. And not only that, numerous women have now come forward with allegations of abuse against Don Wells, which is horrible, extremely upsetting, and I hope all of them women get the justice that they so deserve. But Don Wells is just a real strange character. He was loving speaking out, loving all the limelight. Suddenly he scurried away into the shadows, and I just keep wondering, when are we going to hear from Don again? So that then leads me to believe, when are we going to hear from Candace? The last time we heard from Candace was the interview room's interview that he did with her, the two different ones, down by the watering hole or the swimming hole, one at the house. Really weird interviews. I have been watching them all back again recently, just to watch them again to see if there's anything that I can spot. And there's so many things, you know, that went on with the interview room's interview with Candace. And looking back at it, not a lot that she said made real sense. Certain things, you know, she contradicted herself with. You know, the whole story of whether or not Summer did help put the shopping away. Was Summer even there when this shopping was apparently put away? Was Summer really there to plant those flowers? Now, I've never been certain on the story about the flowers. There was much emphasis around planting of the flowers. Could have been a completely fabricated story. It's never sat well with me. And the more I watch back that interview with Candace, more and more red flags I see. So personally, I think that's why Candace has gone quiet. I think that's why Don has gone quiet. Candace was obviously not as confident to speak out as much as Don on her own anyway. So is it going to be now that we don't ever hear from any of them again, the three of them? Will the grandma ever speak out again? Will Candace ever speak out again? And where the hell has Don Wells gone? I think we were all not enjoying hearing from him, but we were all very fascinated to hear from him on such a regular basis, because we were wondering if he was eventually going to really drop himself in it regarding his daughter's disappearance, or was he potentially going to throw Candace under the bus? Now, he's done that plenty of times. I am looking into making a video with all the red flags, you know, from interviews that they did in the early days, the amount of times that he's blamed Candace, he's blamed the sons, he's blamed everybody but himself for Summer's disappearance. I have always caveated in my other videos, guys, Don might not be involved. So if he wasn't involved, the fact that he points the finger at Candace and the boys is not nice, because we don't know that they're involved. But if, say, for example, Candace is involved in Summer's tragic disappearance, it's no wonder that Don's upset with her. If that is the case, obviously, I have to just caveat that again. But I do feel, and I've always felt, and I still haven't really wavered from that much, that there was an accident that occurred in Candace's care. That's why her and Don's relationship is now strained. Trying to keep the truth under wraps is probably very difficult for both of them. And I just wonder, how long is it going to be till they really slip up and let out what actually happened to their daughter? So going back to what I said in one of my recent videos that I've done on this case, very interesting that the parents weren't frantically searching for their daughter when the authorities arrived at the house. From what Chris has said from the interview room, they were just hanging out, chilling out, not doing a lot. They were sitting on their truck, or one of the trucks, texting, looking quite casual. Now, okay, they could have been texting friends or family to alert them to Summer's disappearance, but apparently there was no urgency, no want to find their daughter, which has never sat well with me and makes me wonder, and it still makes me wonder to this day, is it because they already knew that she'd passed away, or is it because they knew that they were never going to find her because of something that they'd done? So something else I've been wondering is about Summer's brothers. Now, I've got to be honest, the very first interview that Don gave without Candace, he had one of the brothers with him. Now, I've never found that interview very pleasant to watch. Don looked very much in control of the situation. Summer's brother looked distraught. He looked heartbroken. He looked like he didn't want to be there. I found it quite odd that he was there in the first place. Back then, I remember thinking, wow, if you had your daughter missing, why on earth would you make her distraught brother appear in front of a camera to the world's media and, he's upset? It's not on. It's not fair. I did wonder if Don had had him stand there with him to make himself look better. And I know not everyone's going to agree, so I'm sorry if you don't agree with me, but you know how I am, guys. If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, I always tell you how I feel. I always tell you what I'm thinking, and I'm not going to bullshit you. So this is how I feel on that. I don't think that little boy should have been part of that interview. I've always found the interview uncomfortable to watch, but I've always felt that little boy was pressurised into doing that interview. It's never sat well. I've always felt very uncomfortable about the interview, and looking back on it, I wonder just why Don Wells felt the need to make his son stand there when he looked heartbroken. So talking of Summer's brothers again, and again, I don't want to upset anyone by what I'm about to say, and I don't mean any offence to Summer's family or to Summer's brothers, but I suspect they know what happened. I have done for quite a while. I do think that they potentially know that Summer come to harm. I could be wrong, but when I saw her little brother in that interview with Don back at the start of this a couple of months ago when Summer first went missing, I remember thinking, wow, that little boy looks so heartbroken. He looks heartbroken enough to be grieving. Now, that was just my personal opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong. You're going to be visibly upset if your sister's missing, probably visibly upset that your dad's forcing you to stand by him while he does an interview when you most likely didn't want to, in my opinion. But none of that's ever sat well. I wonder, do all three of the brothers know what happened, or at least the two older ones? Have they been asked to keep it quiet? If so, if there really was a tragic accident or something more sinister went on, do Summer's brothers know what really happened, and have they been asked to keep it quiet? And if so, that's horrific. That must be really difficult for them to live with, and I really hope I'm wrong in my assessment of that. Now, it's not long now, guys, and it'll be 3 long months since little 5-year-old Summer Wells disappeared, since we took a little American girl into our hearts all around the world, especially in America, but all around the world. Summer's in our hearts. She's become a massive part of the true crime community. Creators across the channel that do deal with true crime are all fascinated and very engulfed in Summer's case. We all want her to be found. I know you guys want her to be found, so please keep talking about the case. Please keep popping your comments below. I love reading them. Thank you so much for always being so honest with me. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for discussing it amongst yourselves. Thank you for keeping the comments, quite clean, mostly. Most of you are fantastic. I don't often get comments that have to be removed for people being way over the top with abuse or having rows with the other people in the comment section. I hope that you all find my comment section a good place to discuss the case. And if you ever do see a comment that's not nice, please try to ignore it. I do monitor the comments as best I can. But as I said, keep popping your comments below. Keep Summer Wells in your heart. Keep discussing Summer's case, because we don't want to forget about Summer Wells. So I'm hoping to have later this week some new videos out on Summer's case, where I'm going to include footage from the previous interviews the parents have done, show you where I see the red flags. I've found more red flags recently, believe it or not. You didn't think there could be many more, did you? But there are. Why am I surprised? I don't know. But anyway, guys, I will be looking into the case more. I want to go back through all of the red flags from the parents. As I said, watching back these interviews recently have been a real eye-opener for me, because there's certain bits and bobs that I missed, certain things I'd forgotten about. How, I don't know. Looking back at the interviews gives you some more insight into the parents' behaviour and why most of us, and I'll just caveat that as most of us, find them very suspicious, very dodgy, very sus, and that there are always red flags. Well, anyway, guys, it's just a short video from me today, just to give you my daily thoughts on the case. I will be back hopefully with you guys tomorrow or the next day with some more on Summer. I am going to be having some other videos on my channel, some more cold cases, some more cases of missing people. There are also some murder cases that I want to be covering soon, so I am going to have some other content coming up. But as always, guys, I will keep you in the loop on Summer, and I will continue to report on the case of missing 5-year-old Summer Wells. I've got to say, never before have I really ever engrossed myself in a true crime case as much as Summer's. There's been a couple along the years, but Summer's case has captivated my heart. Showed you that in my other video. She's always part of my heart, guys. I know she is yours. Keep her in your thoughts, keep her in your mind, and keep talking about her. And I know my channel is called Cold Cases with Colette. I do cover cases that aren't cold. I don't just cover cold cases, but I really don't want to still be covering Summer's case in a year's time. Let's hope it gets solved soon. Well, as always, I just want to say a big hello and thank you so much to everyone that's recently subscribed to my channel. My little channel that I only set up earlier this year is really growing. It's really lovely to have such positive feedback from so many of you. The fact you take your time out of your day to send me a message, especially when you're telling me what you think about the case, and also when you're telling me how much you enjoy my channel. I cannot express how much that means to me, to know that my little channel has got people watching on a regular basis that enjoy my videos, enjoy my content, find what I have to say interesting. I still can't believe that anyone does, but apparently some of you do, and I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much, like I said, for subscribing. Thank you for being part of my true crime family. I hope you're going to be back with me for my next video. And as always, guys, I hope you're well. I hope you're taking care of one another. I hope wherever you are in this big wide world of ours, you're having a fantastic day. And as always, I'll be back with you very soon with another true crime video. Bye for now.